Coaching the Casual back in studio. We got Dominico Salas with us. He's coming off his second big win in the BKFC bare-knuckle fighting championships. We're going to talk about Bilal losing his belt and then move on some more UFC stuff. Let's get into it.
Well, I got to say, for the first time ever, I respect your fit. I feel like you look really good today.
I'm just so sad. I can't even get dressed. I don't know if it's the weather or my Palestinian brother losing his title to someone I didn't think could get him, you know.
Well,
I just been in sweats, laying, like rubbing my feet, like watching his old highlights.
and I'm sure he's called you as his best friend.
No, he hasn't called me, but it's okay, yeah.
He's probably just holding up, dude. Like, he's going to call.
He's probably busy. Yeah, he's going to call me. I think he's going to call. And I was going to maybe reach out to him.
You guys are tight. You know, I called him the other day for something, 2-3 weeks ago. I think I was going to Chicago or something. I was calling to hit him up about something. And it just went straight to voicemail. He never called me back.
Which we never got into. Yeah. How did you announce the pick?
Oh, I was going. Oh, that's what.
Dude, okay, I need to hear this side story.
Yeah, so I announced the pick at the NFL draft. We get there. I was supposed to be like round 3, round 4.
Yeah.
So I donated a bunch of money to some military charity.
Okay, all right. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go America.
Yeah, and so then I won to go announce the pick. And they tell me when we get there, all right, it's going to be pick 7, which is going to be in 7 hours. And also, you can't leave.
Oh, shit.
And my wife wasn't allowed in. So I had to sit there for 7 hours just twiddling my thumb and watching the fattest bastards. I mean, I'm a fat bastard.
Yeah.
But I watched the fattest bastards go up on stage over and over again. And it was misery. And the big worry you have is you'll get all the way to round 7, and they'll trade away their pick. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The whole time I was like, please, just don't trade away the pick.
Oh,
I don't care who it is. And yeah, it was cool. But anyway, Bilal, I feel like if he had taken my call, because you know who replies to me every single time before and after a championship fight? Merab. Merab, every time before and after, he responds to me every time. And he does it by name. He goes, thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate you, Kyle. But Bilal.
Speaking of champs, you want to hear something funny? We can put this on the pod with Drickus, because he's just as funny as fucking he is online. You know what I mean? Like, so when there was that whole fake thing, that's what it was. Remember this whole fake thing?
About his leg busted?
Yeah, his leg was busted, and I sent him a message, and I was laughing. I was like, "What a wild rumor! Did your coach kiss it better?" And he goes, "No, your mom did." And I tell him, my mom would rock your world, or would rock your world, boy. And he's like, I could only imagine. So he's a funny guy, like this shit talk.
Send the screenshot to Stover.
Yeah,
He'll put it up on screen.
It's so funny, and I was laughing. He got me good. So these champs are funny guys, down to earth. And that's who you got to be to, I think, keep your belt and keep on winning.
Well, we'll talk about this championship fight, but let's talk about BKFC and why we got Dom here. I don't want to shock the audience, but
remove them.
Let's take off these glasses and let's take a look.
And he's a mute.
Honestly, it's a lot better than it was. Dude. It was.
Let me see it.
I said he looks like Prince Zuko from Avatar. You know, he had the red thing going there. But
no, I don't even know who that is.
I was thinking Sloth from Goonies. But, hey, you guys.
Well, the thing is, we'll talk about that night. I did hear, so we'll put up some pictures on screen of his eye that night graphic. But didn't you guys go to the strip club after your eye was an open wound, or is that did I miss here?
I went to the bar first to go see some people, make sure I got my hellos in, and thanks for coming.
You didn't go to the hospital yet.
And then
they just stitched you there, right?
Yeah, and BKFC didn't offer to send you to the hospital because this eye was disgusting.
Yeah.
No, they gave me stitches in the back. They stitched me for 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
How could they even imagine trying to get in there with how swollen it was, trying to know what to stitch and what not to?
They're specialists. That's all they do.
That's all they do. They're really good at
the UFC guys, that's literally, there's I don't even have scars in my eyes from it because they're so good. Like the tighter the stitch, the better it heals. You know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that works.
Yeah.
So then after the bar, after we celebrate the win, we got to go see some titties, of course. We are just savages, bro.
Yeah. But dude, to go to a place like that with an open wound is almost a guaranteed infection.
Yeah.
And it was open too.
It was open.
And I didn't realize it until someone said, "Dude, you need to go wash your face." And I said, "Okay." I looked at the back. I was like, "Ooh."
And our sponsor, Sugar Splash.
Sugar Splash.
He goes, and he's a fun man. And Sugar Splash is something that you take, and it makes your cum taste good.
Okay, you can't say that. It makes you
taste good.
Both taste good.
Yeah, Sugar Splash is something you take and makes you taste good. So we like to party. And he had stacks of cash on the table. And we're sitting there throwing it at all the strippers, having a good time. And then he grabs one. And it's all community money because they just, they're like for the sponsors. They're like, here's community money. He grabs a stack, hands it to Dom. And he's like,
you need to
go to Instacare. And Dom's like, I don't got cash for that. And he's like, here, take this money. And the next thing you know, Dom just throws it all in one go on the strippers, dude.
That's the thing for me is like, I've been around fighters now for a little bit. The most unhinged individuals I've ever met in my life. Jake Shields is a great example, right? Remember, we were out. It was my first time really being around a real UFC fighter because you don't count. And
bro, I am the realest of the real. You
and
know that.
we were out at dinner until like 11 o'clock at night, and I go to stand up like, all right, and you were like, you going home? I'm like, yeah. You're like, we're going out. I'm like, this is out. I'm going home.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea how anything's doing.
And then remember when we were down at the Win, we saw Jake at Excess every single night.
Yeah, he
in
like.
the same
I mean,
jeans.
I'm there too. I mean, I saw him there with him.
Yeah.
And I think it just we just like to party, dude. Speaking of unhinged, Jake was texting me, and I was like, because he's in Thailand, and I was like, oh, I want to come out. How long are you going to be there? He goes, I might leave. I'm trying to leave tomorrow. The Russian mob's after us.
Okay, so this is Dom. This is your second BKFC fight. The first one you won you knocked a guy down like 7 times.
It was 5 times. Once
Yeah.
in the first, at the end of the first, and 4 times in the second.
That's right. And then after that, they called it, or was there a clean knockout?
So he apparently gave up on the stool.
On the stool, that's
in
right.
between rounds.
The first one, and to be honest, the first one you got away a lot cleaner. Do you feel like the first guy was a better fighter or this guy?
I
this
think
one went the
they're
distance.
both tough. Other guy obviously I knocked down more. He was a younger, taller guy. This guy had more of a chin and was more of a war, which I actually appreciate more because I like to put on shows for people. What can I say? I'm a showman.
I would say like the worst possible thing that could happen in a BKFC match is not getting knocked out. It's going to decision.
Bro,
because
that
then you know that
night
it's just terrible.
was crazy. All the
main event?
knockouts. And then our other boy, Naldo, did you see his fight? He got dropped 5 or 6 times and then came back and clean knocked out Jordan.
Yeah.
Put him out.
Trevor got fight of the night.
Trevor got his was a war,
His
dude.
was
They
a war.
dropped each other.
We were
so
watching that in the back.
We're all like, and that was the first fight of the night, and we're like, everyone after that was like, oh shit, was getting crazy.
And I actually fought Trevor before. Trevor was my first pro fight for LFA.
And he had a war with Trevor in the LFA and
Yeah,
beat
so-
him. But then like, oh, and what else was crazy? Someone's nose broke, and I trained the doc, and he was telling me on Monday, he's like, it broke so far over that it ripped open, and you could see down the cavity of his nose, like into his brain. That's not crazy. And then the other guys, Ben Moas, didn't his orbital break or something?
I think the other guys, I remember Ben's finger was messed up. I don't think
Ben broke his hands on his last BKFC.
I think he broke his hand again this time, but who knows? What about you, Dom? Did you break your hand, you think?
No, I mean, they're swollen, but there's no breaks.
What's the difference between getting hit bare knuckle compared to MMA?
MMA, it seems like it's a little bit softer because you got a padded glove. So.
Do you think Rams is being a pussy by not fighting BKFC? Because they've offered him.
I think he's a smart man. This is, I think
I wouldn't even
he
play
doesn't need to.
football.
He
Was
doesn't
too
need
violent
to.
for me,
He
dude.
did what he had to do. He's
Yeah.
UFC, man. Like me, my story's a little different. So
I feel like I would be a champ at BKFC, don't you think?
No way. You're so
you want-
soft.
hey, Dave.
Hey, Dan Gardner fought. Shout out to Dan Gardner.
Yeah, dude, Dan
bucked
got
up.
in there. Bucked
Oh,
up.
Dan.
Yeah,
The
they
little
bucked up
brother.
sponsored us
The little
before when we
brother.
went to Miami.
He fought BKFC?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
fought
bro,
there.
the
He
little
was
brother.
co-main.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up getting, bro, he fought a dude, though, that was like,
He lit-
You guys ass whipped or what?
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
kinda, yeah.
it's a fight. You get in there, you fight.
but
I
it was
mean,
kind of a mismatch. It kind of looks like, I was like, why the fuck did you agree to
but
fight this guy?
He lost like a lot of weight to like get into shape to do this.
Yeah.
He used to actually be a power lifter, I think.
Yeah, and he was jacked looking, and, he was a wrestler and stuff. So shout out to Dan getting in there. He's tough as shit.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
crazy.
it.
I mean, it's a crazy experience in there.
It
you know?
is.
Well, okay, but what about, Ramsey, you have not given respect to the man on several occasions, but how about Partridge? Partridge put it on that dude. I'll
He
tell you
did.
what.
Yeah, he did. No, I'll shout out to Zach. Great job. I even dapped him up that night. I congratulate him, dude. He did great, dude.
He tried to get me to bet against him. He was like, "I'll bet you I'll do it first round." I was like, "Bro, you're my homie. I'm not trying to bet against you."
Yeah. He wants that.
But
fight.
also, he keeps picking tomato cans to fight. So
Yeah, I mean, the guy was 0-3 now and stuff. The only actual matchups of the whole night, and that's the BKFC's, was Dom's and Naldo's.
no, the
And
main
to
event. The main event went almost a distance.
Yeah, but bro, the main event was a mismatch for sure.
it was nasty.
It was nasty, dude. So it's like they're kind of like, it was kind of interesting. They like put on a couple even fights, and then they give you a bunch of fucking
just
knockouts.
slaughters.
It's like a monster truck rally of fighting to me, right?
The crowd was definitely into it. It was a good crowd.
It was wild, bro.
Well, Utah crowds are always coming out. I mean, because we got nothing else.
Well,
we got
and
the
did you
mighty
see-
Tusks or whatever the hell.
Philman's gonna come back this year.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back 4 more times. I hope he goes to the Delta.
Yeah. I mean, was the place pretty? I didn't go. I was coming back from North Carolina. Was the place pretty full?
It was pretty full.
And there's a UFC that night.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was Bilal JDM, but
Yeah.
like still, there was a UFC that night, and that's same crowd. So it's kind of interesting that these fight organizations are starting to pick off on the UFC now. You know what I mean? Like pick out their
the
things.
same nights, yeah.
Yeah, same nights. Like they just don't give a shit anymore. Now they're like, it's time to compete.
Well, they just got bought by DAZN, or they just got sponsored by DAZN or bought.
No, that's their platform now.
But they
that's what
kept on saying they have
BKFC
money now. That's what they kept on saying. They're like, hey, Ramsey, we got money now. And I was like,
I'm hoping.
Did they make you an offer or what?
no. I was like, don't even say anything to me, guys.
Guys, I'm actually pretty broke right now. Don't
Yeah,
say
yeah. I just bought a new truck. I could use a paycheck. Yeah, so no, I was like, don't even offer me.
How'd Naldo feel about it afterwards?
He loved it, bro.
He almost had fight of the night.
I mean, that should have been the legit fight of the night and knockout of the night.
Feldman said he was going to give him a bonus.
Who? Aldo?
Naldo and Mike Jones.
Didn't he say he was
Mike
gonna-
Jones knockout was wild,
That was
dude.
great.
That's the one that broke the guy's nose, right?
That's the
Where you
dude,
could
it was
see,
like a
my,
shuffle
yeah.
uppercut, and it just went.
Mike Jones looked nasty in there. He was fast, explosive. That's his, third fight now?
Yeah, I think so.
BKFC,
Yeah, bro. I think Mike Jones, he has a calling in that as well. Like Dom, Mike Jones. I think Naldo definitely was fucking, I mean, he's just a savage. Just takes a different
savage.
person that doesn't mind getting hit.
Well, you made 65, which was crazy. It was like 2 years ago. What was your top weight that you were weighing in at?
My top weight ever, I was probably like 280, 290, almost 300 pounds.
Holy
This
shit.
is back when Ramsey first met me.
Yeah.
And then I've lost 100 pounds multiple times. I fought Mitch Ramirez for amateur belt for still fist at 155.
He's a UFC fighter right now.
Yeah.
Current
Only
UFC
losses to the fighting nerds.
Yeah, and so, so my whole story is that anyone can do it, even you, Kyle. Man, we can get you down to 55.
No, don't even.
Don't give me hope.
Dude. That's
Don't do that.
That's all
Don't
I
give
do.
me hope.
That's all I do. I give
That's
people
what
hope.
that's what Dave's at the gym. He's telling some people this. I'm like, no, there's no hope for you, motherfucker. Shut up. Just go to fitness class. And I'm like, you're 1 in a million, so it can't.
The problem
be.
is I'm actually fully fueled by Ozempic, and I'm beating Ozempic by
yeah,
gaining weight.
you are. Damn, dude.
They actually use me as a control in the studies. Like,
Dude,
this
what are
man
you
gains weight on
doing, man?
Ozempic.
Why you just train?
Because I don't wanna,
But
The thing is, if we can find somebody at this point who I feel could accurately beat me up, then I'd be more
yeah.
motivated to do it. But I haven't found anybody yet.
Yeah, all right.
You remember Marab, the champion, put his hands on me. I was unconcerned.
Yeah, right. You were like, help.
Henry, the double champ, refuses to roll with me.
Yeah, dude. I'll roll with you every day.
Honestly,
Beat
you
your
know,
ass.
who's actually pretty scary, even when he messes around, is Kelvin. Kelvin will like put his hands on me. I'm like, dude, leave me alone.
That's a big boy.
Kelvin's strong as hell.
That's a big boy. That's once you get those, and who else? Bro, Trickus is so big, which I want to talk about. The Hamzat Trickus fight that just got announced.
When's that supposed to be?
August 16th.
In Chicago. Let's go.
The big fight that just got announced too, that Kelvin's on with Piper. There's two championships.
Islam and
Iliad?
no, Iliad and Charles.
Iliad and Charles and Kayla versus
Pena. Which, I honestly, those are kind of some, I don't know if we want to get into it, but I think those are some interesting matchups.
Girl fights have never, what, can you name 5 girl fights that have, there's Rhonda and Holly, right?
Yeah.
There's Rhonda and Amanda, right?
For what?
I'm saying that, like, iconic in your brain female fights. Because you can name 20.
Rose, JJ.
Yeah, Joanna Jing.
Oh, with her hematoma?
No, all their fights. And
No,
then the
that
one
was
she knocked
Zhang
her
Wei
out. Wei
Zhang
Li.
Wei Li.
Oh, yeah, Wei Ling, JJ. And honestly, I low-key hate on the girl fights, but the other night, JJ, that was a banger. You know what I mean?
Shevchenko.
Yeah, Shevchenko.
Oh,
and,
Shevchenko is obviously
And
incredible.
Shevchenko puts on bangers, and she came back. And, so I don't know, man. I'm a hater sometimes.
Anything with Tracy Cortez got my attention.
It's
so.
just tough. Her brother just fought too.
There you
in
go.
UFC.
Hopefully you're watching this, Tracy.
Yeah, she's
We
not.
got an undefeated BKFC fighter right here.
It's just tough
They got the money, right?
They do.
with girls and lower weighted dudes like Pantoja. Have you ever watched a Pantoja
Oh, and they just
fight?
announced Pantoja.
Have you ever watched a Pantoja fight and been like, ah?
So
No.
he's fighting Kai, and that's a good fight because I think Kai can bring it, but I think it's gonna be a Pantoja 5-round hold him down.
Snooze fest.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you think Dana ever cuts 125?
I think it should.
Yeah, for men.
Yeah, but the thing is more weight class, more money. That's what they say because it's more belts, more money, more pay-per-views. Not even. It sounds like they might go away from pay-per-views. Have you been hearing this? They might be going to Netflix and everything's
Oh,
going
I
to be
did hear
streamed.
about Netflix.
Which I hope so.
That Tyson fight was terrible quality, though, remember?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, but Dana won't let the quality go like that.
But the
he's quality
the
control.
ESPN ones had issues.
Well, that's why he wants to leave because the people pay money to stream and then they can't stream the fight and then everyone gets mad and wants refunds.
While Netflix has a good way of stopping somehow people from streaming their stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Actually, the streams have been harder to get on. I haven't been able to get on them.
Times are tough.
Crack streams, meth streams.
Yeah. Times are tough, bro. You can't buy the pay-per-view.
Well, it'd be like I'm traveling, and so I just have my phone. I'll buy it.
You could buy it on your phone.
I don't know how.
Hey, hear that, Dana? Get this guy. I've never done that. I always buy it. That's called
In
stealing,
fact,
bro.
one time I sent Ramsey $50. I showed up, and it was a stream. So
Yeah.
you got his pocket my
I
money.
hoorowed you, dude. I hoorowed you that one time, yeah.
What do you think about John holding up the heavyweight division?
Oh, bro.
Dana almost announced it.
I just think it's kind of Tom Aspinall just waiting for the freaking John Jones fight. And he's like, this isn't enough rubbish. I might be moving on. Should have moved on fucking 2 years ago, man.
Well, same Chandler was waiting for McGregor.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, dude. Just fight. You become obsessed with one fight. That's just so dumb. If
Well, he wants the
Aspinall...
championship. it's not that he's obsessed with one fight. He's obsessed with the championship. John shouldn't have been able to hold it up this long.
But if he fought 3 times...
When's it been, 2 years since John fought?
Well, he just fought Stipe. That was probably
A year and a half ago? I bet it's a year ago, at least.
Yeah, and it's weird. They have 2 belts kind of fighting. But then Aspinall's not fighting. So
Yeah.
you might as well get him to fight.
They fought November 2024. So, yeah, just 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel just move on. But let's talk about this Oliveira Iliad fight. If Iliad slept Max Holloway,
What are they?
55.
55s?
Well, this is Ilya's first fight at 55, so he's coming up to weight.
He's coming up the weight, but I mean, I don't know.
He's
dude.
coming
Against
off the
former
knockouts of
champ.
Volk and Max Holloway. Two
Yeah,
of
what
the
happened with-
greatest.
What would did Max not fight?
Max,
Max is gonna do the retirement fight.
Yeah.
with,
he's fighting
with TP.
Poirier.
Yeah, Poirier.
For
Poirier was
318.
there. Poirier was at the draft with your best friend,
Who?
Ariel.
Oh yeah. Look, you want to see this picture? I got a painting of Dustin Poirier's wrestling. You want to see it?
This is gonna be a blank slate.
Look. This is what I see when you are a silly Billy and you always pull the gilly. That's all I see. No cross facing. If you don't cross face, you ain't wrestling. You're wrestling with the boys.
I don't know what crossface means.
Exactly. That's why you don't wrestle. You wrestle with the boys.
But speaking of that story, let me talk about the Ariel thing. I was there, and Ariel Hawani was at the draft. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, Ariel? I'm on a podcast with Ramsey." And he goes, "Oh, he likes me."
I have no issue with him.
And I was like, "Yep."
I have no issue with him at all. I've never said.
Why do you think there's beef with Ariel?
He thinks because of all these guys don't like him. And I was like, I've been on your podcast before, a long ass time ago once. I don't know what the beef is, Ariel. I think that sounds a little racist to me on his
Yeah,
end.
Ariel, you're racist. Be nice to Ramsey.
Yeah, what's the beef? I don't know what the beef is. Do I disagree with his politics? Yeah, but it doesn't mean we have beef.
What about his takes?
I mean, I think a lot of his takes is all about, he makes these drama. But then he does have good takes. It's like I don't hate Ariel. I watch some of Ariel's stuff. I mean, I just don't watch his 3-hour show because it's awful.
It actually surprised me how big he is. He's a pretty big guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think I could take
Big
him?
West.
Do you think I could take him?
Could you take him?
Yeah,
Probably.
hopefully.
One of the few.
And Jake doesn't like him. Maybe he thinks because I'm friends with Jake, but
No, Jake's is because of his politics. But hasn't Jake switched around on his politics lately?
I
He
don't
had
know.
his one wild podcast for.
I think so has it. I don't know. I have to detach from him. I just watch fighting.
What would you think about a podcast with Jake and who's that one wrestler out of Arkansas?
Oh,
Bryce
yeah.
Mitchell.
They
Bryce
did
Mitchell.
they did a podcast together. There is it. It's called Fight Back, and it's got check it out, I guess. I don't know. If you want, I don't know. Here's the thing, and what's back to the UFC bringing politicians and politics into it. Always, it's gonna turn off like half the people. You know what I mean? And
Don't you think it makes more money for the fighters? I mean, that's the thing. Is that if it
choose
gets
the side.
well, if it gets sanctioned, I mean, most fight fans are going to be Republican. I mean, there's not very many Democrat fight fans. Wouldn't you say?
Why not, dude?
Wouldn't you say the demographic doesn't fall? Yeah, typically, fight fans are going to be 20 to 40-year-old.
That's because,
dudes.
yeah, but to me, all I see is customers, and you're turning them off by putting in Trump. You know what I mean? They need to get some fighter that is like super liberal and paint his hair pink and be like,
Did you see that one clip, by the way?
whatever
of
the
O'Malley?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they should do, not like.
Did you see that? Speaking of pink hair, did you see that clip of O'Malley at doing a prank on some dude at like a gas pump? And,
Yeah.
and the dude was like, "Hey man,
Oh,
if you
I
do that-
almost slept you."
I almost slept you. Right? I'm a Golden Glove winner, and O'Malley
Yeah,
was
I
just
was like, yeah, I saw that. You pulled a prank on that guy. That was a good one, dude. I don't know, man. I just think that no matter what, you should definitely broaden your customer bases. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, I only sell windows to Republicans. It's like, no, you don't give a shit. You'll sell a window to whoever.
we actually just opened a Seattle office, so.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You got one in the South. You got one here. You don't give a shit. You'll sell windows to whoever, bro. And that's what I keep feeling with the UFC is if I'm at a freaking thing for my daughter's school, and of course there's usually a lot more liberal people or whatever, and then they're like, oh, you're into that, so you're probably Tesla, Trump support, and I'm just like, no, that's just, I guess that's just, you know what I mean? It's it just makes you have to this attendance, and I think it turns off people.
Well, Dom, you coach at the gym. Do you? I mean, it's like a dude culture, but do you guys get any obviously you're not turning anybody away, but would you politically, and we can get off the topic of politics here in a second, but don't you feel like it's pretty right? I don't even know if that's the right question. What type of people are typically coming into the gym for coaching? Not just politically, but what type of demographic? What type of dudes?
I see everyone. I see from the young teenager to the 60-year-old guy, and I see every demographic of Republican, liberal, gay, straight, confused. I mean, homeless to wealthy. I mean, you see everyone.
We have homeless
We
people.
we have
Felons to politicians.
felons, and then it's funny when they get on the
Police.
mat. If they stay, everyone's accepted on the mat. That's the nice thing about martial arts, jiu-jitsu, everything we teach. It doesn't really matter what your background is. It's really what is currently. And I've seen polar opposite people get along on the mat, have beers afterwards, or not even have a beer. They have a water, we have a beer.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Like
so-
I've gone and celebrated,
Belt
belt
ceremony.
ceremonies with staunch, LDS people that are like, oh yeah, we'll come to the bar and have a soda, and then like there's dudes that are like, oh man, I barely made it out of prison to get here to my belt ceremony. And you're like, yeah, well, that's
so
I'd say that Dom. So I used to train at the pit before.
Before you quit.
I kind of outgrew you guys.
yeah.
But I'd say I preferred rolling with Ramsey to Dom because Dom was a tougher role for me. You've said in the past that Dom's one of your more difficult roles. What is it
And
about
sparring rounds.
What is it about him besides the smell that makes it so difficult to roll? Because he's strong as hell. He's just on top. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, dude, he just keeps coming. He doesn't get fucking tired, and that's what he did in his fight. You watch his BKFC fight; he just kept on coming forward, charging. You can hit him as many times as you want. And he's done it to. We've gone to Vegas Extreme, and he's done it with top UFC guys. He's done it sparred with.
Where does that
Chris.
cardio come from?
skateboarding
How so?
and smoking weed.
Smoking weed, dude.
Well, that was my point. Is like you wouldn't think with the when I talk about the smell, it's the smell of weed when he's
He
rolling
smokes
around.
more weed than Nate Diaz,
Yeah.
bro. And I know that personally. I've seen it.
We talked about this before, but one time Dom broke the record for the highest weed blood level.
He
And the
still
rec-
has it in the country.
Well, he broke the record,
And then
it was his previous record that he
reset-
broke.
Yeah, he broke his own record and broke the machine. So he might be a little suspended after this next fight for some more weed. But hey, you know what? Free Dom, bro. Fuck that. Free Dom. You know what I mean? He's a political prisoner is what he is.
Yeah.
My
It's put it
cardio.
on here. It's a natural thing on the.
I got
earth.
suspended 9 months one time for fighting.
Yeah.
In the prime of my career, I got suspended for 9 months.
Yeah, I
bullshit.
know a little bit about that, but I don't know, man. I think I'm blessed with decent cardio, but it is something I have to work at. This camp, I was running almost every day. I was swimming. I was dieting. I logged over 40 miles last month running, and I'm not a runner, but when you sign your name on that dotted line, you are expected.
Now
to
let's
do
get to
certain things.
I want to know what your daily diet is when you're at a camp and when you go from 165 to 265 in 3 weeks. What are you eating on the daily?
Patty Pimblett.
Yeah, like you're a Patty Pimblett, bro. What do you eat? Like, I'm sincere. Like, you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing?
So it just depends. I mean, I wake up and then maybe go out to eat and then order a nice big breakfast and then hang out and then maybe train, maybe not, and then we'll go eat again and then I just eat normal, but I think it's just more quantities or it's just not having when you sign a contract when you have to fight, it's like you can't. And then when you don't have anything lined up, it's like you can do whatever you want. So
All right, my roommate, Brock Jardine, also a former UFC fighter, and he actually fought Alex Smith his last fight in some local like Nebraska fight. And Alex Smith we didn't really know who he was, and he came across and fucking broke his fucking orbital, dude. It was wild. Yeah, and but Brock's a badass, but also he would do the same thing. He would fight at welterweight, jacked, and then he'd be like 170, welterweight. Then he'd be like 285 in 3 weeks. But then I knew what that motherfucker. See, I don't believe him because I would watch what Brock would do. He would come home, take a bowl, pour but ice cream in the bowl, like a thing of ice cream, and then he'd get like Cocoa Puffs because he wanted more, but Cocoa Puffs, then like a muffin from like Costco, break it up, put it in there, eat that, drink
Me
milk.
and Brock
That sounds
need to
delicious,
party.
actually.
What?
sounds
Me and Brock
delicious.
need to party.
He's like, you want some? And I was like, I'm such a fucking snob. I'm like, no, dude, ew, gross.
Well, dude, when it gets late at night, especially when you're smoking weed, that shit can happen.
Really?
That shit,
That shit could happen. Does that happen to you? See? Late night, that happens to you.
it's a late
Some
night.
ice cream, that's where you get it. Because you ain't putting on 100 pounds.
It's everything, cream. It's everything.
Because I'll eat fucking McDonald's and all this. And I don't put on that.
Yeah, but
like,
you're also a great disciplined athlete.
Yeah, but
where
I
I'm
remember
like,
watching Brock
I'm
and
the
like-
everyday man, and it's like, all right, let's go. Steaks,
true.
fuck it, let's go. Steaks.
if I would eat like that, I would have explosive diarrhea. But hey, guess what? 4 out of 5 people hate diarrhea.
No, you got it wrong. It's 4 out of 5 people. I saw that thing. I saw it too. But I forget what it is. But I saw one the other day too that was like if you've had diarrhea within the past 10 days, don't swim. And it's like, well, then I'd never be able to. I've never had a 10-day period where I haven't had diarrhea before.
I would never be swimming, man.
10 days?
10 days.
That's insane.
Dude, that's crazy, dude. Does that count drinking too much and having diarrhea from all the booze? Does that count on that 10 days?
Dude, I don't know, man. Sunday, I took my mom to Olive Garden for Mother's Day because she got home late for work. So I took her to Olive Garden. That got me so sick. Like,
Really?
so sick. Like,
No, you should start a mukbang. You know what that is? You could be a mukbang, I think.
like Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Just be like,
Just
all
be
right,
a
guys.
mukbang,
Ramsey's
dude.
trying as hard as he can to get himself to Thailand, so he's adopted the culture. Mukbang, I think, is from Thailand.
Oh, is it? I don't know, dude. It's a mukbang thing. I mean, like, at first it didn't make sense until you start watching one. And I'm like, I kind of enjoy it because they're eating food that would hurt my tummy. You know what I mean? Like
Tummy?
Domino's pizza and like all that shit.
And a whole pizza. And
Yeah. And I wish I could, like, especially if I'm high. So, like, I'll watch them do it. You know what I mean?
So when I cut weight, that's one of those things when I can't eat food, I'll watch those mukbangs and I'll watch people eat food.
What's
when
that
I
one
can't.
really fat guy that
You
used
watch
to be skinny?
mukbangs when you're cutting weight.
Bosch.
When
See,
I'm
you're
not-
such a fat kid at heart.
The Bosch guy.
No,
Oh my
there's
God.
that one gay guy that was really skinny, did a bunch of mukbangs, and now he's super fat.
Oh yeah.
Really?
But then he lost it all for the transition
the
video
clout.
or
I
something.
can't remember.
For the clout, bro. Yeah, you lost it all.
Yeah.
Well,
everyone's
cool.
hating
Well,
on him.
I'll tell you something that we should be doing here at the end. Typically, all jokes aside, obviously I don't train anymore because I've,
'Cause you're
reached a new
lazy.
level of.
Because you're
Ability.
lazy as fuck.
But
You make too much money, you don't train,
some-
it happens.
That's true. Something that we should do consistently at the end of these things is one, promote the pit and promote the guys that are coming. Dom was one of the best coaches I had there. Honestly, I liked rolling with you guys
Yeah.
because I'd come in there, I'd talk crap, and you guys would beat me up. But one of the things that I found with you guys is you guys would protect me from myself, right? You guys would take me down, and it would gently take me down, right? It was, and I think that's super important for a coaching. So, how do people reach out to you, Dom? Get involved with your coaching, and what kind of coaching do you do?
You can always reach out on me on all my social medias. It's Dominico801, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that. You can look online to pitslc.com. I coach right now Fridays, so Friday nights you can come in, try a class. I always suggest trying Ramsey's class. We got great instructors there. And just
Come
come.
to my class if you're a beginner. I'm done with you beginners. I'm so tired of teaching beginners that I sent him to Dom's class. and- No,
I'm pretty beginner friendly because I can.
Honestly, the best way to train, so like if you're watching this and you're like, I want to get into training, you should just either like schedule one-on-ones with Dom, or not me. If you're a beginner, I'm not taking on any beginners. Or like Naldo, someone else, you know what I mean? And like schedule with them and like do about like 10 to 20 hours of like one-on-one privates before you actually enter a class. And like I would do that, but everyone's like, oh man, it's so much more expensive. But the thing is, that's like an investment in yourself in the long run. Like you should be doing privates before you go into any jiu-jitsu class because you don't want to get fucking hurt. You should be doing one-on-ones, maybe practice sparring with an instructor like Dom then you can go spar someone else. Because then, like people just come in, they don't understand the right, like
Cadence.
And like how you didn't, and we have to protect you from yourself. And another kid, some 19-year-old kid's not going to do that. He's going to pick you up and slam you and teach you a lesson.
We wouldn't be able to, but yeah. And in closing, what's
Bro, the young 19-year-old like Marcus, these young boys that like
full of testosterone. They got something to prove.
there's like a young kid this
I'm full of
morning.
testosterone too. It gets delivered to me once a week.
From
Yeah,
him.
it's
From a
fake.
needle.
No, that ain't real. This is all natural still, baby. Oh, dude.
Lastly, what's going on? What's coming up at the pit? What should people be looking for at the pit?
Oh, dude. Mike Jambayarjay.
Can you start that sentence over because it sounded like you had a stroke.
Michael
in there.
Jambayarjay.
Oh, boy.
Our Mongolian fighter.
Let's put that on
My
screen
brother
for us.
Mike.
Yeah.
Asian Mike.
Asian Mike. Mongolian Mike.
Yeah.
He's fighting. He's making his pro debut. Remember, he's fought a bunch of local. He had the belt, and then he lost the belt in a close decision, and then fought again and tapped the dude out again in like 30 seconds. So we're like, it's time to get paid. And he's about 25 right now, so he's like making his pro debut. And we really picked, we have good fights for him. And the guy's a tough fight. It's not like there's no walk-through fights. That's the beauty about MMA now. It's so big that the amateur weeds out anyone that is like just there to be there. And you have to be tough now to be able to make it through an amateur, then be one of the top ones to go pro. So I'm excited. I think Mike's gonna, do well, and he's fighting in North Dakota in CFFS, Cage Fighting Fury, which is on Fight Pass
UFC
or
Fight Pass.
OnlyFans for the undercard. So that's pretty cool. And then we've been traveling around a lot. We've been sending our amateurs, like Jordan just went and fought for a big promotion in Arizona that a bunch of Henry's boys were on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
The
his
rough
whole gym
fights.
was there. Tom, tell us about that one. You went out.
Yeah, so I went out and cornered a couple weeks before my fight. Me and Jordan went out to Phoenix and was part of the rough promotion. Great promotion, great city. My first time out there.
And it's on Fight Pass as well.
It was the one with it wasn't UFL, huh? With Henry and Rampage.
No.
That one's a
That was the
professional.
next week.
Yeah.
But
This is an amateur show.
had one of Sean O'Malley's boys was like the main event. It was a really, really dope card. Yeah, so we have great fighters like Jordan. We have Talon. We have Lucas. We have Dylan. We have Hunter. I mean, we have over 10 plus fighters doing MMA, kickboxing. Always have jiu-jitsu people. We even have a couple ladies like Mieko and Anya who just fought.
And, we're really good about, like, you said the other night, remember when you watched our fighters and you're like, man, they're fucking, like, what are you guys feeding them in the water, Same with Dom and Naldo the other night. Like, we really do, like, we are a martial arts fight gym. Like, we really are, like, very serious about it. And anyone that comes in and trains, like, let's say, if you can't last there because you're not serious enough about it. But we have like other people that are like, business investment or accounting nerds or whatever the fuck they do all day. I don't know. Some of them found out one's an insurance, like that one dude that trains all the time during the day.
Yeah, he has.
He's an insurance salesman, so like he does that and then comes in. But they want to train like how top level pros train. And so then our AMIs basically are our feeder program, and they're helping our pros get ready. Like Mike, they're rotating on our pros, like the younger amateurs, helping him. And so it's like this like system that we've kind of started developing. I mean, Dom been together for almost like 10 years now.
Yeah. Like I've been fighting now almost 8 years now. And like I said, I started 300 pounds. I've lost hundreds of pounds, fought at 55. I am the definition. If you have a dream, you can chase it, but it's not just going to be handed to you. You have to work. And in my case, I have to work and get punched in the face, guys. So make sure you want that dream enough because sometimes it's hard, but it's
Go to
rewarding.
school. It's not
Have you
rewarding.
have you seen that meme floating around where it's like how mean the boys are when some amateur kid gets his dream crushed and it's everywhere like
Yeah, he's getting knocked. I mean, that's us, bro. That was like, I'm the same way. If I am not coaching and we're at the fights, like, we're betting on random kids talking shit. And we're like sitting with their families. They're like looking at us. And, we're degenerates at heart.
I just don't root against one certain group of people when you see them at Steel Fist because their family's over in that corner and I don't want to get stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah, we should not. Yes.
We won't talk about it.
We won't talk about that one.
Dom, thanks for having it. It was an incredible fight, incredible win.
Thank you.
And guys, we will catch you on the next one.